At the start of 2019, there was a long debate on Capitol Hill over a possible Green New Deal. The resolution became a litmus test for progressive Democrats and the subject of scorn from Republicans. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi settled on a special committee to dive into the issue of climate change, and after more than a year of work, Democrats are detailing their path forward. The plan sets a goal of eliminating car pollution in just 15 years and net zero carbon emissions in 30 years. It calls for investments in infrastructure and agriculture, and there's a focus on environmental justice, making sure lower income neighborhoods aren't bearing the brunt of the negative after effects. A Pew Research poll recently found 2/3 of Americans think the government should do more on climate change. But can a politically divided Congress push lasting policy change in the middle of an election year? Well, we are still joined by Democratic Congressman Sean Casten from Illinois' 6th District. Congressman, again, thanks for your time. Look, I'm just going to start with a political piece on all of this, which is in an election year, a presidential election year, you know the president will have a field day with the phrase Green New Deal and windmills and everything else. I know this is so critically important to you and many Americans. Is this the time to tackle the problem before an election?
Look, I'm new to this line of work. The time to deal with climate change was 30 years ago. You know, when we had the momentum of the Montreal Protocol, when we had a bipartisan consensus from my friend Bill Riley, who was George H.W. Bush's EPA director, and we've basically fiddled while the earth heated up and atmospheric CO2 concentrations is 100 parts per million higher. We can always find reasons to do nothing. We have to act. And we put this committee together. We set ourselves the goal to figure out what is the policy that we have to do that is informed by the science, and what are going to be the tools to get there. And it takes time to do that. You can't get that done in the first week of Congress. It took us 18 months. We got the report together. We now have a path to get emissions 90% down by 2050, save 62,000 lives a year, save $9 trillion. You would be a fool not to do this. It's good for the economy, it's good for the environment, it's good for human health. And oh, by the way, it also makes sure that we can look our grandchildren in the eye and say, we did what we had to do when the times called on us to act.
You know, I thought it was sort of interesting that one of your colleagues, Representative Kathy Castor, almost using this quote, which I'll give you, in a way that sort of taps into what people are thinking about and talking about today. Because she said the plan tackles the systemic injustice of environmental racism head on. So the word sounds so appropriate in today's environment, but what does she mean?
Well, so look, environmental issues broadly have always hurt the least among us first, right? You know, look at the town you live in. The low-lying, easily flooded areas, those are probably the poorer homes. The houses by the side of the highway that are dealing with car pollution, or the houses downwind of the coal plant. You know, there's a reason we call it the wrong side of the tracks, because that's downwind of the train whistle. That's been for a long time. When we make the effort to say, let's do what needs to be done, let's get back to a sustainable economy, that lifts all boats, but proportionally, it has a vastly greater impact on the least among us. And so, you know, morally, that's the right thing to do. Economically, it's the right thing to do. Ethically, it's the right thing to do. And you know, frankly, it's reassuring to me to see, you know, a growing consensus that this is not just about an environmental issue. It's about an economy issue. It's about issues of broad civil rights. So with that, we can move forward.
So the plan has 12 pillars to getting the U.S. to net zero. We don't have time to talk about all 12, but I want to pick ones that I think people would really connect with. One of them is the importance of infrastructure in building the economy. Talk about how infrastructure plays a role in reaching net zero.
Well, look, here's the thing about clean energy projects, and I know this, you know, this was my career before I got here. Almost anything we do to lower CO2 emissions leads to lower operating costs, but requires an upfront investment. If you want to, you know, have a Tesla and not burn gasoline anymore, you got to come up with money for the Tesla, but then it's cheaper to run. I should just say Tesla, any electric vehicle. If you want to put a solar panel on your house, you've got to come up with the investment, and then you have basically free electricity going forward. So that is an economic opportunity to invest to grow the economy, and practically what that means is infrastructure. Building out those assets, building the transmission grid to connect them to load, building a broadband infrastructure to make sure that we can remotely control these even when they're off in rural parts of the country, building an electric vehicle charging infrastructure. Stop me if I've said that before. But we have the opportunity to do that. The fact that we also have an infrastructure that is woefully in need of repair means let's take this opportunity to build an infrastructure of the future, not just repair potholes in the infrastructure in 1950.
All right, Congressman, first of all, so much more to talk about, but we're out of time. I encourage people to check out the report, and I know we'll hear more about it from you. Thanks for your time. Have a great holiday weekend.
Thank you. Happy 4th, everybody. Stay safe.
Right. We're going to take another break. Coming up next on WGN-TV Political Report, misinformation in the midst of a pandemic, how social media is contributing to the spread of false facts about science. We're coming right back.